What's up, gente? What's up, Raza? I want to talk about the State of the Union. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, last night there was a clown show on TV and on cable put on by the current leader of this country, the United States. You all know who I'm talking about. That clown show is something that happens every year according to the Constitution. This is something the president does. Goes to Congress. The Congress invites him, and he gives them what's called the State of the Union. It's an update on how the country is doing, how the nation is doing, and all presidents have done this. And the reason I call this a clown show is because that's what it is, and that's what it's been for a long time. Because the state of this union is a mess today, probably worse than some of us have ever seen it, but it's not new. And I want to talk about how that impacts Raza. So just hang on there because I think there's a better event to pay attention to. And I'll tell you what that is at the end here. So, real quick, if you saw the State of the Union, Donald Trump was talking to the Congress and to television and lying out of his mouth. That guy lies. He is, we known. He's a known liar. He's a chronic liar. He's a gaslighter. If you've ever been gaslit, he's gaslighting you, telling you that what you're seeing is not true. He's a projector. He projects his whatever he accuses somebody of doing or being. He is actually talking about himself. It's a psychological thing. It's a psychological condition that a lot of people try to manipulate. Others will use these techniques. So last night was one of those, but on a massive scale. And obviously, he lied about everything. He didn't talk about the Epstein files, which he is number one on top of the list of. He didn't talk about the human rights abuses and the crimes against humanity with the snatching up of babies from the brown and black mothers that we've seen up there. And he talked about the shooting and killing of innocent people who also have a right, supposedly, to protest. And matter of fact, if anything, he distorted the facts. That's we know that was going to happen, and we know that was going to be the case. But what we also saw was a lot of empty chairs on one side of the Congress, and that's usually reserved for the opposition, the left, right, the Democratic Party or whoever is in opposition to the ruling party. And in this case, it happens to be the Democratic Party. It's been that way for the last 50 some years. And they didn't show up. A lot of them, they chose not to show up, but some of them did. And some of them did protest. Unfortunately, we only got a few, maybe one or two, you can count them in your hands, of people who are truly down with the people. Ilhan Omar is a Muslim woman. She's Somalian out of Minnesota, and she is down. She is down for the most part. She knows what's up. She stood up against the funding, of Israel to continue their genocide of Palestine, something that Kamala Harris wouldn't do, right? Supposedly the leader of the left, if whatever that's worth, but that didn't happen. So yesterday's, clown show that happened on television is something that we should pay attention to, only because we get an idea what direction this country is going to go to. Because if anything, the presidents know it's going to be recorded, and they want to get funded for their projects, including the many military operations that this President Trump has in mind, just like other presidents in the past, including Barack Obama, Biden, etc. Bush. Didn't matter, Clinton. They all have a military budget that they want to see through. And in this case, he's talking about upping it. So we got to pay close attention to that, so we know what direction this country is going to. Again, nothing new. But what is the State of the Union for us, for Raza, for Chicanos, for indigenous people, right? What is our State of the Union? Well, it's pretty much a bad situation. And it's pretty much something that we probably haven't seen in decades, with the snatching up of people straight off the streets, right? They did that during Operation Wetback of 1954 under Eisenhower, the president at the time. They did that when they pulled out the Zoot Suit riots, where sailors were allowed to go to beat up, Chicanos, young Chicanos, and strip them, leave them naked for dressing like, pachucos. The 1940s under FDR, or Franklin D. Roosevelt, the president at the time. And we've seen this happen under many presidents, but this is a horrible time for us because we are being snatched up, and we are being attacked, and are being demonized and called illegals on this land. And we are not illegal on this land. And there's a lot of influencers out there, people that say if there ever came down to it, what side would you fall on? I would fight for America. And that's fine. If you want to do that, you're obviously brainwashed. You don't know your history. Whether you call yourself a Chicano or not, you do not know your history. You don't know what you're talking about. You're obviously confused, and your history will show, just like Fidel Castro said, history will absolve us, the ones who are fighting against ICE, the ones that are fighting against imperialism and racism, white supremacy. Others of you, these influencers, will be stuck on that side, and history will show how wrong they were. Just like the so-called Latinos for Trump, right? Voted for Trump, and now they're having second, and now they're regretting it. Their own mothers are being deported. That's a shame. But they voted for Trump, so history will obviously how foolish they look. So what is left for us? Well, a lot of people are still fighting against ICE. A lot of people are still taking on ICE, and there's a current trial. There's a trial that began yesterday. It's called the BP3, which is the Baldwin Park 3. And this is three mujeres who were on trial. The trial started on the 24th. That would be yesterday of February. And this is taking place, at 350 West 1st Street in Los Angeles, 900112 in courtroom 10A. The reason I'm mentioning this is because these are Chicanas. These are women of color who not only were arrested filming ICE, which is not against the law, filming law enforcement, but they're brutalized, their rights were violated, and now they stand and they look to be facing some prison time if convicted. So if you have a chance to go out there, BP3 or Baldwin Park 3, these are three mujeres, strong mujeres that stood up, to fight against ICE, to film ICE, and now they're being considered criminals. So we got to keep the fight. We got to keep doing what we're doing. We got to keep protesting against what we're watching. And if it's not this trial that you can make it to, if you're not in Los Angeles, keep an eye on local events happening in your town, in your area, your state, and go support those people that did risk, their life, that did go out there and take to the streets. Go support those people. I know that when I started what they did a couple last year, a lot of my former students and their parents reached out and said, let's do something. These are 18, 19-year olds who are just entering the world, but they saw this man coming in, unleashing ice on their own grandmas, right? And so some of my former students reached out. We met a few times, and we planned a march down this small little town, not Los Angeles, definitely, not one of those big cities, but it was small enough to where you're going to get that attention. And when you got about 1,000 people out there, you're going to get attention. To top it off, we did not ask for permit. We did not ask for a permit to do what we did. We took the streets. We invited everybody to bring their flags, their signs, and to make sure that we protested. And we invited the car clubs. It was pretty cool because it was real organic, real cool, came together in a matter of a week. So we did take to the streets, and we took over a park, a public park. And again, we didn't ask for permission. We planned ahead, had some mobile speakers to make sure people could hear what was going on. We passed out a lot of those Know Your Rights cards, the red cards from the ACLU and UFW, that teaches people their rights. So there's a lot I was proud to see my former students do. And some of them, some of us, I would say, were warned by the police, strongly warned by the police, watched by the police. Obviously, we got them on tape, just like they got us on tape as we were taking the streets. The lowriders really helped out, by the way, because they came through that day. If it wasn't for families and vans and trucks and the lowriders with the flags, it was awesome. Because then they'd have to arrest everybody. They threatened to arrest us, and we didn't get arrested. If anything, it was a successful march and rally, lasted for hours in downtown. And I'll give the city right now, downtown Madera. It's a very small little city in Central California. And unlike, big cities, you're going to be seen there, and you're going to be easily singled out there as well. I've experienced that firsthand. We know a lot of the January 6th protesters. Some of them were from Madera County, and some of the Latinos for Trump are also from the Central Valley, and especially in the Madera County. Unfortunately, they hide out amongst the people because they look like us. But nope, our students didn't want to back down that day. They wanted to do it, and they did it. And so we were lucky not to get arrested. But these three sisters I'm talking about, standing up to this fascism. And if you don't know what fascism is, that's when the government or the private corporations like Elon Musk, right? These billionaires, private corporations with the backing of the federal government, the military might of the federal government unite. That's called fascism. It's when they come together. It's a scary thought because you're talking about wealthy billionaires, those who have ruled forever, using the military, the might of, in this case, the United States of America, to crush poor people, to crush dissenters, and to crush those that would question them. Just like the sisters, the this Baldwin Park Three trial that's going on. These three sisters did that, and now they're trying to crush them. So again, one more time, if you have a chance, I wanted to do something follow up to the State of the Union, but I think it's more important to be out there. This is the group that's putting it on. It's ICE out of LA, and then this trial started the 24th. It's going on 25th and 26th, 27th. This is the Baldwin Three, and this is three sisters. These are three sisters who are facing up to 10 years in prison for experiencing or exercising their First Amendment rights to film ICE in public. Trial began yesterday. It's going to go on in 350 West First Street, LA, and room 10A. So again, if you have a chance to get out there, just do it for these sisters. Let's support them. Big props and big ups to our sister Chata Brown Beret down there and organizer, also part of Las Adelitas Brown Berets under Cynthia Barajas. Thank you, sister, for what you're doing out there. And let's not forget that when these sisters go to trial, they will be judged, but it won't be by a jury of their peers. It's going to be, again, probably by a jury of white people mostly, or conservatives. So I don't have high hopes. Let's go support them as much as we can. I want to do something today just in honor of them. And with that, peace out, and Raza, be safe out there. More power to the people. Oh,